G'day everybody, welcome back to Tavern Keeper, where I believe this is going to be our final episode of our first look at the game in, well, its current state in early access. Hope you guys are doing well today. In the previous episode, I sort of got a little bit too excited about some game mechanics, which unfortunately I discovered towards the end of the episode didn't exist yet, and yeah, we're going to have to wait until the game is developed a little bit more, but that's okay. With this last episode, I think this is a decent chance for us to really decorate quite heavily, and I know I've been doing a little bit of decorating in the previous episode as well, but I think we can try and, you know, do one last bit of decoration before we sort of say goodbye to Tavern Keeper, at least for now. We might revisit it again at a later stage. But just doing a bit of a summary on what we're going to do initially. So we're going to decorate both tap rooms, and I would also say that we probably do need to decorate a little bit. Gonna say maybe a lot of the accommodation doesn't need a lot of decoration, but perhaps maybe some of the hallways are looking a little bit empty. All the hallways have are like lighting, and there are some rugs here and there, which I think I probably do need to put a couple more rugs down. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure if there's anything else that we need to decorate. We could perhaps maybe play around with the staff room a little bit. But to begin with, I think I'm just gonna quickly focus on the sign over here. I think I mentioned when we first opened in Halflington that perhaps maybe there's an opportunity for us to play around with the sign. And look, you could probably, you know, design something really elaborate to suit what you want. I'm just going to pick from, you know, some of the stuff that is already available to us. So we don't have to sort of, you know, go too crazy on making changes, because, yeah, it might take a while for me to, for instance, like design my logo, and I don't really want the episode to be just all about that. So I'm gonna get rid of that, and I think what we should be able to do is just place something a little bit more appropriate. There we go. The watching fox. I wish we could just change the color of the object here, but unfortunately we can't. But that's okay. This is fine. Hey, there we go. Way more appropriate, and it looks nice. I like it. I don't know if there's maybe more embellishments that we need to put, but that's okay. I'll leave it at that for now. So, now that that's done, let's focus on some of the tap rooms here, because I feel like we've had these tap rooms for a while. We probably do need to decorate it a little bit more. So I was thinking about the stage area, and perhaps maybe needing to decorate a little bit more over this side. So let's maybe get rid of that. I think I'm going to move the stack of barrels. Do I even want the stack of barrels? Maybe I can get rid of the stack of barrels as well, and maybe we can have other things here. And I'm thinking of moving all of this as well. So I think it's appropriate to have this set up in this location. We could shorten it if we wanted to, but that's okay. I'll leave it at that. And that leaves all of this empty, which we'll come back to. And now that we've got a little bit more space, I think we could put a little bit more furnishings in the, well, against the walls. The question is, which type of furnishings do we want? I could get another one of these. I don't want anything too big that's going to block off the curtain or anything like that, but maybe something like that in the corner might not be so bad. Do we have any other options? Maybe we could do something like that, or maybe that's better there in that corner. We also have this piece here, which doesn't have anything on top of it, which I think we should try to change. But let's do a bigger piece of furniture. Fishing tackles and stands. I don't know about that, to be honest. It's so hard to choose. I think I'll do that, and then it'll give me the opportunity to place down perhaps maybe another painting. The feast. Or a collection of paintings. I think a collection of paintings wouldn't look so bad. Yeah, that looks decent. And then the stage could probably do with a little bit more. Let's do design mode. Duplicate that, and then I'll hopefully move this a little bit. Okay, do we want a few more coins? I feel like that might be appropriate. Oh. Okay, that's gigantic. How do you... what the hell? Some of the stuff is animated. How is that even achieved? Capitalist swine. I was sort of hoping to be able to remove certain elements of it, but I can't seem to do that, so all good. Well, if we can't do that, I'll settle with just coins and stuff. So if I do something like that, I wonder if I can... whoops. I wonder if I can actually... like, place some coins inside it. So, you know, it's kind of like a tipping bag. That's sort of the idea. We'll see what we can achieve. Is this bag too small? Perhaps. Perhaps it might be. I feel like maybe I just want to squash the bag a little bit, like that. Alright, so... let's see if we can place it inside. Alright, let's do... yeah, something like that. Yeah, that looks decent. I feel like I want to hopefully be able to, like, make the coins sort of spill out a little bit. Okay. I think maybe a couple of coins here and there might do the trick. I don't know, I think that looks pretty nice. So sort of a tip bag there. I know our performers do get paid, but they can collect tips as well if they want to. And yeah, we should maybe decorate this space a little bit. I mean, I have started, but I feel like these tables are a little bit empty, and it is kind of difficult to decorate the entire space, though, I feel. So what do I want? I mean, it's not exactly a restaurant, right? So I don't really want like tablecloths or anything like that, and like additional like crockery plates. I think what would be good, quite simply, would be to have things like napkins. So I'm just gonna see if I can do that. Maybe even some bills that would double up as, like, you know, menus that people would be able to actually look at. So maybe something like this. So these are pretty big though, so I'm just gonna reduce the size slightly, but something like that, and then we just duplicate these across the entire room, and I think I'd be pretty happy with that. So it doesn't have to be exactly uniform. I do want to just rotate things every now and then. Yeah, so I guess you can see here that I've actually created the item, but it's all tied to the one table, which means that if I delete that table, this will all go as well. Which I am actually kind of curious, what happens if I move this? Like, would they all disappear or move together with it? Yeah, there you go. It's sort of moving together with it. So I'm not very good at being able to tell when some of the decorative items are tied to a specific object. I'm not going to fuss over it too much though, because it's not like I'm going to change the position of the table anyway, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And, you know, after this episode, well, we are very unlikely to, you know, come back to this version of our tavern. And if we ever do look at Tavern Keeper again, then I'd say we'd probably check it out, you know, when there's more to it. But then I feel like there might be some other maps and scenarios where we would be able to check out as well. So there might actually be a little bit more to the game by the time we do come back to it. Let's move. I reckon maybe we can place it on top of this surface as well. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. Okay, good. So other things that we can place down, let's just have a look at what else would be appropriate for these tables. I'm gonna say like something like a pepper grinder would look good. Again, don't want it to be too ridiculously big, but something like that. Okay, good. What else? What else would be good? There's a whole bunch of kitchen stuff that I could have placed down in the previous episode, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. An incense bowl. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I reckon we could probably have an incense bowl right here. Let's not make it too big. Then we can have a whole bunch of other stuff here as well, but we'll come back to that. Alright, are we satisfied with the way the tables are looking? One thing that we could perhaps make is, like a candle. Because I think I did this in the previous tavern as well, right? Like, we could have a candle on the opposite side. Or I could simply use one of these, which has a built-in candle already. I think that's probably a better idea. What's the difference here? I can't really tell what the difference is, guys, between one and the other. What's going on? Yeah, who knows? Let's just get rid of one of them. Actually, I'll get rid of both of them because I just want to replace this and just scale it down a little bit. So, yeah, candle on one end. And that'll brighten up the space a little bit more, although, you know, it does make things a little bit more flammable. Okay, are we happy with that? I think so, I think so. So, do we want anything else on the tables? I'm not sure. Actually, come to think of it, we probably should do the same things for the other tables over this side as well in the other tap room, so let's get to it. And the candles. Okay, looking good. And maybe I'll focus a little bit more on what's going on over here. So once again, let's just do objects. I would probably say containers of some kind. Actually, not containers, vessels. So I'm thinking of just doing like a collection of wines or something like that here. There we go. Wine bottles. Might reduce the size a little bit. Maybe a couple that's kind of similar size, and then this one we could play around with the thickness maybe. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Okay, anything else that might be decent looking? Maybe a gilded bottle? Very fancy. It is a little bit big though. Could do a standing horn up over here. And then maybe a few other bottles here as well. Okay, looks pretty good. So what do we want to do on top of this cabinet though? So that's a very good question. Maybe a decanter. Do we have any trays? The only trays that we have are these wooden ones, which I don't really think I want to use. But perhaps maybe some fancier looking glassware. Chalices and stuff, goblets. Drinking boot. What? I guess my idea is like maybe the entertainers have to like check in or something along those lines, you know, write their names down before they even start performing. Maybe? Doesn't look too bad. What am I doing with this jar though? Not really sure. We can get a Imperial Stein glass, maybe a few of them over here. Gilded Stein, Tower Stein. Alright, doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. So I think that looks pretty much decorated. We should perhaps maybe get something going on over here. Probably do need the walls, just to give me an idea of what I need to do on the walls initially. Let's do some art. Okay, I don't really have a lot of banners, do I? I feel like that needs to come to the forefront a little bit, like that. You know, since we did that thing on the outside, we may as well do the same thing on the inside here. Whoops. No. No. What the hell? What is going on? can't seem to get rid of the fox. Why are you like that? Huh, strange. Okay, well, things have stuffed up completely. Whoops. Yeah, I can't seem to do anything with this fox for whatever reason. So I suppose we might be living with it. Is that is that what we need to do? Let me come back to flats here for a second. Inlays? Yeah, so this is what we will do. Just place something like that, and then what I'll do is I'll push it back a little bit so the fox still is visible. But yeah, something weird happened there, and I can't seem to manipulate the fox whatsoever. So we're gonna have to live with that. I guess it doesn't look too bad though in its current position, so we shouldn't stress too much about it. Anyway, let us come back to this and see what we can do. That's kind of cool. Just gonna see if there's any surfaces that I could use. Yeah, why don't we do that, and then... It's tree seal. Maybe what we need to do is... Yeah, because I can actually color these myself. So I could do... Let's do an elvish color, like that. I think there is a map that hasn't been released that is set in like an elven sort of forest, which I'm kind of excited about. I reckon that'd be kind of cool. And then we can get like objects that are a little bit more suited to their tastes, which I think will be exciting to play around with. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, sorry, flats with the tree icon. Yeah, there we go. Looks much better with this color. So... yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. Though I feel like it could be more center. Something like that. Alright. But what's more important though is what's going on top of the table, so let me find some decent objects to place down. I think we played around with an object in one of the guest rooms, which we could play around with. Or maybe even this, maybe the game board. I mean, just looking at it like that, you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's a game board chest, right? So... what else do we want to put here? I wish this book was a little bit flatter. So, you know, it sits nicer on top of the cabinet, but maybe I might need to rotate it a little bit to make it look like it makes sense. Okay, not bad. What else? What else should we put here? We could perhaps maybe get some books simply placed. How do we feel about that? That doesn't look too bad. I reckon we're missing some paintings though, so let's just quickly sort that out. Back at the delve. Sure. Grandpa. Why not? Mother and baby. The Elven Conqueror. I don't know about that one. Close and personal. Okay. Doesn't look too bad at all. I think we're missing a few bits and pieces here on the walls. Posters? I think maybe it might be better to just simply duplicate some of these. Okay. How are we feeling about this space? It looks like it's coming together. I think so. I think so. If anything though, I feel like the other tap room seems a little bit empty to me, so we could work on that. The question is, what do we want to add? I would probably say a couple of like bigger paintings would be good. I don't know. Sometimes the size of some of these paintings are a little bit questionable. maybe we'll do one bigger one on this side. So, but I think I'll use design for that. I'm just looking at our money as well. I just realized, yes, we are spending a lot of money on this. But hey, what else am I gonna use my money for? I guess I do still need to pay the staff. Not if I never unpause the game, though. I'm just sort of thinking about like the symmetry of this room, and I'm thinking maybe I can move the door slightly like that, so this room has better symmetry, and then we can put some stuff in the corners. So the question is what though? I think that looks good. Don't need to overcomplicate things. It's a bit empty on this side though, isn't it? Okay, looks good. And in the previous episode, we did also place down these shelves, which I think we can try and decorate here as well. So this might be a good chance for us to use like plates and stuff. So if I do that, I can simply just drag more above it to create the illusion that we've got stacks of plates in there. Let's do maybe another batch. Okay, good. What about cups? Teapots? These things are a little bit big though. Maybe I need to put them on top. Anything else we want to put in here? Stein glasses. We could put like jars and stuff. Maybe some platters. Okay. That looks decent. Medicine mortar? I don't know why, but maybe. And perhaps maybe what I'll do for the upper level is to have like different types of plates. China teacups here. All right. What else? Maybe, yeah, these plates as well. These ones are actually a little smaller, which is perfect. Brilliant. Okay, cool. What else? What else can we play around with? I feel like we've made a lot of progress everywhere. Perhaps maybe there's an argument to be made that we could decorate the bar counter and the taps themselves. I think that's not such a bad idea. Oh, there's some simple cups here. I've forgotten about those. I think we can maybe just place those in here. Probably need to reduce the size a little bit. Okay, good. But yeah, let's take a look at the counter. Even the, like, behind the counter, you can also add so much stuff, which, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to add that much detail there, because we rarely go behind the counters and behind the bars anyway. But perhaps maybe out here we could play around a little bit with placing bottles and Stein glasses and stuff like that. So I might start with placing down some stubby bottles in a few different spots. Okay, and then now we should be able to switch to like Stein glasses and stuff. So wooden Stein glasses, I think, might not be too bad. Just reduce the sizes a little bit. Maybe I don't need to go too crazy on it. And I think Guildsteins as well. Also about the same size. Now, one thing that we did have access to were those, like, kegs. Powder keg. Not quite what I'm looking for. So if we go to just the build mode, and if we go to decorative, we have access to the hogshead barrel. But, I kind of want a small barrel here. Actually, maybe that's the word that I'm looking for. Yeah. Barrel. Maybe I'm gonna need to build this out. I'll take a look if we can build a simple sort of barrel holder. Oh, I don't even need to. I don't need to build my own. We've got one ready to use here. Perfect. And so the idea is I just wanted to place like this down and then we get a barrel in. I know it's a huge barrel, but I want to make it tiny. So let's just play around with making sure that this fits. Maybe I can even reduce it a little bit more. Or maybe even reduce the base, but maybe that's not even necessary. A little bit of clipping is fine. I don't think there is a difference between the front and back, so... But yeah, that's the idea right there, and then... Is there a way that I can pretend like there's some kind of a tap? Let's try that. I should have made this a different color actually. And I wonder if there's a way to change the color once you've already placed it down, because that would be very useful, but that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But yeah, so that's the idea there. I mean, maybe I'm not going to worry about adding a few more details to it, but the idea is if people wanted to get water and stuff, this would be the spot for it. So we could place down another napkin tray right here, and then some simple cups. You know, we gotta keep our guests hydrated, right, as they drink the nights away. It's always good to have some fresh water on hand. Okay, perfect. Anything else? This looks a little empty over here. Reduce the size a little bit. We can pretend like there might be menus over here. Brilliant. Now, what else? What else can we play around with? This is pretty empty over here. I reckon we can get a couple of different things here and there. Brilliant. Okay. Man, these spaces are definitely coming along. The other tap room does look a little bit empty in comparison though, doesn't it? Like, I feel like there's probably opportunity to put a few bits and pieces here and there. Okay. I'm gonna try and speed through adding some stuff here. So I do really like the fact that there's like a lot of these objects that are quite beautiful looking, but I wish there was a way for us to sort of change some of the colors of the different elements of it, so you can sort of make certain things your own. We can actually change the colors on some of these bottles, which is nice. Actually, even the wine bottles, I didn't realize you could do that. Interesting. Scintillating bottles. Okay, anything else I can put here? Maybe... I'm thinking, like, do we have any bags? Bags of oats? Packs? I think we have a pack in one of the rooms. I don't know if it makes sense. Place it down there. Maybe. Something like that. Brilliant. Okay, I don't know, guys. That was a lot of decorating, and I'm pretty happy with the way things are looking so far. We probably may have missed a few different things here and there. You know, I haven't really decorated all of the staff rooms, for instance. We've got a few paintings and stuff here and there, but not too much going on. If we ever come back to this particular scenario, we can always do stuff then. But I reckon this is where we're going to be leaving it, guys. So the Blue Fox Tavern, perpetually open for business until we see you guys next time. I hope that it won't take too long for the devs to come up with new updates, new maps, and new mechanics for the game, because I would love to be able to revisit it. And yeah, just check out what else they've got cooking. I've had a real blast playing this game, and I really do sincerely hope that you guys have enjoyed watching me sort of work things out and sort of understand how to do things and maybe fumble around here and there, spin a few plates in the air constantly. It's been a very enjoyable experience so far. I'm just gonna let things play out, and we'll close off here. Thanks for watching. If you've stuck around since episode 1, do really appreciate you guys being here. Drop me that like. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe, because I do create content like this quite often, probably on the daily most of the time. And a subscription is obviously the easiest way for you guys to find more of my content. Cheers, guys. Don't forget to stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.